Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Get that out of there. Listen, hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Good Thursday to you, or whatever day you're deciding to watch this live stream, this live conversation, a rant with me, if you will, over reality TV, TV shows, Britney Spears' new memoir that is, baby. My copy is on the way, but God bless the internet for spoiling some things for me, because we do have to talk about some key moments that a lot of people are getting into. Justin Timberlake is feeling the heat. Us Janet Jackson fans, yes, me included, are quite happy about this. Shouldn't be, but yes, we are. And more. The Dragula trailer dropped, you already know, on the 31st. Me and Dooley are covering it. The challenge happened yesterday, challenge season 39. I'm actually going to break down that episode for you today, and I will be doing that weekly with this program of Rant With Me, as well as wrapping up Chucky season 3. I finished, currently, we're up to episode 4. The mid-season ended. It was nuts, and I'm going to explain some things in reference to that as well. We're going to have a conversation today, and that is what this live is about. Now, I know I was like, hey, everybody, I'm going to do some edited videos, this, that, and the other. That video I did for Brazil took 8 hours of my day. I'm looking at the numbers now, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're going to go back to the live streams, because that was 8 hours of work. And one thing about me is that I like to have a little bit more of a not so edgy moment of editing, because yesterday, and I could not put my finger on why I was upset this whole week and everything that was happening and all of that I was doing in the community tabs, which I apologize, by the way, because your boy was really losing touch. But I see I was suppressing something. Yesterday was the anniversary of my mother's passing. And I realized this when I was in my closet and I was cleaning it out, because I was just cleaning up the whole apartment, and I just got to the closet and I read a letter, and I was like, oh my God, I know what today is. And I just sobbed like a baby. I'm good now. I feel clear, but it helped me understand some things, because I was like, damn, I was really upset, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I knew a whole lot of stuff was bothering me, but things that I can control. But something was just sitting on my spirit that was touching me in a way where I could not emotionally wrap around the things that I'm currently trying to figure out right now, financially, as a father, and just my personal love life. So I appreciate y'all's patience with me on that one. There goes my baby. Hi, Bubba. You want to come up here? Like, literally every time I start, here you go. Here you go. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Here you go. Here you go. Say hi to everybody, Mom. I know. Listen, yeah, it was just a little tough week for me, so I appreciate the patience. You know, everything is still on schedule today. Technically, the Chucky video is part of this, so I am on schedule. Tomorrow will be Drag Race UK. I also have a live with the Boys Night Out on Scotty by Nature's channel, and then Saturday we're going to talk about House of Villains with Sundays. The panel. I saw the official Dragula trailer. We're going to talk about that one today too. Army Mamu-chan. So let's do my social medias. Let's go ahead and get this show started today. It's about an hour and a half of programming here, I believe I can put into this today. So it's at MattyRants everywhere except for Twitter, which is at the Matty Rants. They call it X now, but when you type it in on the internet, it's still Twitter. So at the Matty Rants there's a link in the description. Hit it. It'll take you where you need to go for all my social media spaces and places. What are you looking at on the counter? What has got your attention? I also do reactions on Patreon. I just uploaded the Chucky season 3 reactions. This most recent episode, check it out. Dragula is going to be added to the menu very, 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 very soon. And then also, of course, the other shows I'm covering that I just talked about right now. So check me out on the Patreon. I'm also going to be doing some new things on there very soon. So all my Patreon subscribers, you're in for a treat. because I got myself out of that little hole I was in, and I said, we're about to do some work with the Patreon folks. A lot of people are in the gaming tier, and I'm inspired again to get back into my gaming lives, especially for the Baldur's Gate 3 turnout. Thank you for tuning into that live. 4 hours of gameplay, and it was fun. We were making bad decisions, good decisions, and we still have a lot more to go. So yes, a lot to come for this channel, a lot to come for Patreon. Appreciate y'all so much. He's not grabbing the mic for now. Hey, Captro, thanks for tuning in. Purple Eater 42. Let me give my shout out to Leviathan. Love you, baby. Love you too. Let me go ahead and get here. Natasha, how you doing? Sister Felicia, how you doing, baby? Surf Noir, House of Milan, how you doing, lovey? And Rubber Ducky Assassin, Greta, Kendrick. Hope everyone's doing well. So I'm also bookable on Cameo for special requests. And just recognize that today, this is a show for entertainment purposes. So nothing is meant to take anybody out of place or be nasty or malicious. So don't take it that way. The content's not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individual, gender, or wigs. And all opinions expressed by MattyRants and program participants are so their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every human on the planet. No hate should be sent to any of the shows or individuals mentioned on this program, so please don't be rude. And grab your libations and strap in because Matty is a talker, so you may be here for a while. If you feel uncomfortable after reviewing this program, consume some Mattivia and have yourself a good poot, because that Mattivia is actually available at dragqueenmerch.com. Do you want to know what he's looking at? Because I've figured it out. Shout out to Baked by Bunny for making this wonderful lighter case that I love so much. Every time I bring it out somewhere, someone's like, ooh, where'd you get that from? I'm like, Baked by Bunny. Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen, how y'all doing today? Hold on, get down, baby. I know. You see the cords and shit. Don't steal my chapstick. And you can't have any of my juice. No. Here he go exploring. Here he go. If you want to drop a tip in my jar, right here, it's super appreciated and super necessary and needed. By all means necessary, but I appreciate it. Not necessary for your participation today. That thumbs up button is, though. You can hit that like now. And the comment section too for the algorithm's purposes. But seriously, if you want to drop a tip in my jar, I'd appreciate it so much, especially since we're close to the first. And okay, I love you too, Bubby. I gave him some new food today. We need to talk about it. It's funny. But it's paypal.me/MattyRants, ketchup.MattyRants, Venmo, Matty-Rants. Thank you. Okay, so Rachel Ray, you got money from me today because I wanted to try this cat food. I normally give him Fancy Feast because there's like this 2-pack that it comes in for $1.29, and he loves those. But I said, oh, for the same price, and it seemed like a lot, and it was real chicken, and you could very much see it with some chicken broth. It's like, oh, let me try it. It's wet food, because I do give him dry food right now, but I don't really have my car still being down. It's hard for me to get to PetSmart to get the Science Diet dry food I need. So we're trying to sparinging that right now. And so he's gotten a little bit more wet food lately. That's why his ass is so big. So I tried the Rachel Ray food. I did. I wish I still had the cup to show you which one it was. It was $1.29. It was the same price as the Fancy Feast. So I was like, oh, and it just seems like it's better. I'm looking at that bowl, right? Rachel, let me show you something. Let me show you something, sister. I'm going to show you the bowl the other wet food be in, okay? This is the Fancy Feast bowl. Cleared. All right? He even gets the crumbs. Like that's gonna it looks like bacon bits for crying. My cat is weird. Let me show you. This is okay. I'm gonna put it back. I see you because you're probably like, I'm still grazing on this, Daddy. Are you? Because you would have annihilated this if it was something else. This is literally still all up in here. I was like, girl, do you not like that? You don't like the shredded? He might just like the pate. I think he's a pate kind of guy. Here you go, baby. Proud of you. Make me want to buy more nicer things for you. He may not like it. You ate some of it, like half of it, and then you just now like, not for me. Oh, hi. Hi. You can come back up here if you want to. Anywho, where should we start today? I feel like the challenge will be the beginning. The Chucky will follow. We're going to get into Britney Spears, talk about the Dragula trailer. I may drop in some other like tea or hot topics into this piece right now, and then we'll just go from there, okay? We'll just go from there. But love you down. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Super chats are cool too. We appreciate those over here, as well as dropping a little tip in the jar. Let's start this up. Hey. Oh, he found the toy, baby. Listen. Oh my goodness, we have to silence this. But not silence this. Erica. I believe this is faster than YouTube. It absolutely is. Because I won't see that on YouTube until next month, which is still great. But thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much for the tippy poo. I hope you're doing wonderful. I see you, darling, in the chat. My waves back to you. We're going to start with the challenge. Is anyone familiar with the MTV's The Challenge? You should be. It's been on for 39 seasons. There are so many spinoffs at this point in time right now. I am not going to give you the entire cast today. I'm going to be reviewing this show like, are you watching it? You're not? Okay, you should be. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be an interesting season so far because everybody in there is considered either a rookie or they've been on for a couple of seasons and they didn't win it. So Liam, there's a UK version of the challenge. And so this is what I'll tell y'all. If you want to watch this for real, let me give you something here. No, I'm going to talk about Big Brother too. I didn't say I wasn't going to talk about Big Brother. We got that's incorporated into many other shows. We're going to talk about Felicia's dumb game when we get to Big Brother. I have no pictures for Big Brother, but we will talk about what's currently happening on Big Brother. I'm a little disappointed in Mama Felicia. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing? Oh, she gets I love her, but she gets on my last nerves with how two-faced. Everybody is in that game, but we'll get there soon. Anywho, all these people on this show come from either other reality programs like The Challenge in their own countries, basically, right? Or these people come from like other shows like Big Brother, sometimes Survivor, sometimes a dating show that MTV had. You know what I mean? Like, Are You the One, this, and the other? So they're popular via their own reality TV bubbles, but then they're brought to the challenge where it's a physical competition show that they're competing for money on, and they have to go through either teams, solo routes, all of that. They're either eating nasty stuff, they're either going through very physical challenges, jumping from the air, all that kind of stuff. And everything pulls in play with backstabbing, this, that, and the other, right? So this season's interesting because, like I said before, it's rookies and people who haven't won the challenge that may have been on for multiple seasons. However, the previous winners of the challenge will return in some sort of way when it comes to eliminations later on. They sort of like given us an idea of what's about to happen. Anywho, to start off this episode, as we're going through, they're supposed to set up this puzzle by going through this pit, and they have to get everybody over in order to get $50,000. That's the idea within this time limit, right? They didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't succeed. It was kind of sad. I did enjoy viewing certain people. Corey is so fine. Corey Lay, specifically. Hi. Crush on him. However, the women were left to making the puzzle, and I'm assuming other men who just had time to run over there. There was really no organization except for one dude, I think his name's like Syrian or something like that, who wanted to speak up and sort of make the plans as to what was supposed to happen. But then when all things fell through, they then blamed it on the women and said they weren't pulling their weight for this challenge, which made no sense to me. Because it was like, y'all didn't even know what you were doing. Let's be honest about it. Like, you were just like, okay, everyone get over. We're supposed to collect these polls, but you then had to rearrange them to make the challenge. Like, there was no organization. So this became a complete, I like you, I don't like you moment for me for the first episode, and I was already tired. I'm not a big fan of Amanda. I'm not going to be a big fan of Amanda. Amanda annoys me a little it. I love her drive and all that, but she didn't want to say hello to me. And Vernon was playing the worst game possible. I wanted to be in a room with my friends, and now that I'm not in a room with them, I'm upset. And I'm like, girl, you have to play this game. Like, if you couldn't be in that room, you have to fake it till you make it, right? Big T talks too much, and I love Big T. Talks too much. I have alliances with everybody. That is shaky. Already. I said, okay. I couldn't do it with my sister. I love her down, but I was like, I wanted her to do a lot better. They're already putting her up on the chopping block the first episode, and she's been there longer than most of them. She's had 4 seasons of this. I said, T, you kind of a veteran here, so they're going to come for you. Corey really had a bad season when he first started, and I know he's trying to represent for the gays. I don't know how he's doing. Howie always gives me, I'm trying to have a good time, not I'm trying to win this competition. So I see Corey aligning himself with the men more and not, the women this time. He may be playing both sides, but I think he's recognized that he's going to have to be a little bit more sneaky in this game. Plus, you can tell he's been working out. So, Corey, I'm rooting for you this season. I don't like this guy. I don't want to know his name. I don't like him. He reeks of a word that starts with an M. I can't describe it to you, especially during deliberation. Ooh, what I tell you, he was all for sending the women home. The men were like, we're not going home first. We're taking a woman out because this is all their fault. I'm not interested in this relationship. Who he already has a relationship and is pursuing someone on the show, but not a relationship with a situationship, but no, a relationship to where he then needs to somehow break it to them, but he hasn't broken it to them. I'm not interested. I was like, that is going to be so lame the whole season. I'm sorry. Again, it's now becoming men versus women. This is the normal route when it comes to the challenges, unfortunately, and you sort of have to pick a side here. And if you're a guy and you pick the women's side, you are more than likely going to be a target for the rest of it. So you better fall in line with how this goes. And this is sort of how it was put into place this episode. Y'all, I was like, okay, we have an entire cast of people and we're doing the same formula as before, yet y'all are all rookies and we know how to play this. Whoever was the strongest should go home first. But if you are the strongest, you need to get the person out with the best social game because they're going to talk their way through to the top. And you don't want to have to deal with that because they can get your ass out. Again, I don't like this guy. This idiot. Excuse me, young lady. I'm so sorry for calling you an idiot. But what you did was so dumb. She volunteers herself and then tells everybody, well, if I had won this show anyways, I was going to donate it to charity. There is $300,000 on the line. And you're in deliberation. No one is talking about you. Big T is actually up for discussion. And then she, like, yo, you had to see this. It was like, what the fuck? All the women were doing this. Well, that's how you feel. Oh, the ladies in the competition were like, okay, she wants to do that. Fine with me. Go. All right, girl. Stone face. No one. That's what she wants to do. Okay. Go on, sister. You want to go home first. Listen, when they did get to the pit in the end, of course, there's always these exterminations, eliminations, these last rounds or fight to stay in the competition moments that come with the challenge. Everybody voted for her because she asked, except for Horacio, who voted for Big T because he didn't want to be a part of the group. But to me, I would have taken that as a moment to be like, ooh, put a pin in him. He's not playing the game. That would have been an immediate red flag for me. And you did that on the first episode? No, baby. Listen, let me tell you something about these competition shows. You are unanimous till the halfway point. That is how you stay off the radar. You can make big moves, but only when the power players are in the worst position possible early in the game. Then you take a shot. But if they're not there, you cannot take the shot because those power players who have probably been doing this for a minute already have a social game established outside the game that is going to work for them inside the game that you are not a part of, especially as rookies. with this being a season of everybody sort of knowing each other from their shows, some people never working together or possibly have been on seasons before, this is about social game heavy. And if they're smart, they're going to be a little bit more strategic with who they put in the pit. Because she volunteered herself like an ass. Like, they could have had a guy in there this week. That would have been a gag. That would have been a gag. So, anywho, Mama puts herself in there. And then TJ, who was told you had the most, you had the most votes. The gag is you get to pick somebody to go against. And we're like, she could pick anybody. Anybody. She chooses the other person who got the vote, which is Big T. Jessica's a dum-dum. I was like, damn. So Big T, I have a feeling you won't be here this long for this season, sister. And I hate that for you because I enjoy you as a person on reality TV. I'm quite a fan of you and your wigs. A little cocky when you stepped in this bitch. You gave a little here, sister. I know the social, and I know all these people. I think you need to play this game a little bit more quiet. Listen, Crash. I see you, baby. I don't see you in the chat though. You must have stopped on by. Thank you so much for the tippy boo on Cash App. A little walking around money for you. Bitch, that's gonna go into the next vet appointment because I gotta get these nails clipped and we gotta get our next set of vaccinations coming up right after my trip to LA. And then Lizzie, I see we got a new subscriber to Patreon. Hey Lizzie, if you're in the chat right now, thanks for being part of the Patreon. Hey Crash. Okay, yeah, we wrapping this up. Like I said, I'm gonna be giving 25 to maybe 30 minutes, depending on what's happening for the challenges. And I'll be keeping up with it because there are some Rant Pack members that like this show. They had to do this game. I don't know if it's a game, but there's this tabletop game I remember playing where it's like ice and you had to like roll the dice or something like that. And that was how many taps it was. And you didn't want your person to fall. Like that wasn't the point of the game. You wanted everyone to stay up there, but you wanted to roll like low. You didn't want to get everybody out there. So it reminded me of that. They're in this glass container. They have a hammer. They have this rope that's attached to each other, right? And they have to pull it a certain amount of distance where it gets over. So that way, when they fall, it's going to be like, a much easier situation. They're not going to fall to the ground and, die or whatever, because that's not what's going to happen. But they had to hit the glass around them, pull the rope, and then bloop. That was me. Oh, hey, Lovey. Okay. So you bungee jump like that, right? So they're hitting the ground, click, 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 doing all that kind of mess. Big T is the winner. Mind you, I wouldn't have picked somebody who has done these kind of eliminations before. That was silly of her. She should have chose somebody who has had the same amount of experience that she's had with just one season of the show, where they've only had one chance to prove themselves. Big T has 4 seasons of this. Get real. So we lost one. Bye, Jessica. That was episode 1. Well, actually 2, because the first episode was really stupid where they just met each other and slept outside. It's like the game is about to start. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We just finished up the challenge. A brief recap of that episode and my thoughts on it and who I wanted to actually give energy and time to. We're rooting for Corey Lay here. On to Chucky season 3. The mid-season finale aired yesterday on USA Sci-Fi and is currently available on Peacock for streaming, and it went out with a bang. To give a brief summary over the episodes I haven't covered, because I know I was like doing reviews on this and I haven't come back to it just yet because I, again, have been lost in outer space mentally. Chucky has been cursed, but more so blessed from the previous season when he was at the Catholic boarding school for reformed children. Apparently that exorcism left some sort of like blessing on him and thus blocked his voodoo powers that he's been using in order to have his soul in the doll's body. So Chucky finds out he's aging. This was kind of a gag. And it was also this really weird scene where he ends up in this hospital for basically like demonic entities and like people who worship the devil and sort of witches and this, that. It was so funny because I'm like, oh my God, the doll was talking and no one is blinking. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. It was so weird. I was like, what is happening? But Caroline, remember, this is Lexi's sister, has possession of Chucky, and she's the one that's pretty much helping him do everything. We find out that she is responsible, or at least was holding Chucky at the time, for him to then get in the White House to then meet the current boy who he's with right now, who has taken the identity of his dead brother, Joseph, which we kind of clocked this in. But this is kind of where all of this comes into play for episodes. I was proud of them for how they wrapped this up. I was like, I didn't think y'all were going to be able to do this, but work. This is T. Anywho, Nika chased after Chucky. It didn't work out. She never got them. This whole scene with Keenan was completely disrespectful, and I will never be able to get over that. But getting into the third episode, where we really focus more on Tiffany Valentine, who is Jennifer Tilly, but is really Jennifer Tilly, but because Jennifer Tilly is the actress, but that's the whole meta version of Chucky and the Child's Play universe from Seed of Chucky. A very campy movie, by the way. Tiffany Valentine possessed Jennifer Tilly's body as the actress. The actress in our actual reality is playing Tiffany Valentine. So there you go. Right. So Jennifer Tilly was arrested for the murders of her sister, which is her real life sister, which was kind of crazy. That was a wonderful, wonderful season. The season 2, I actually liked it. It was crazy. But then it's a lot. Hold on, I'm trying to get my words. It's a lot. It's a lot. So she goes to jail, and Nika's like totally here for it because, mind you, she made Nika a paraplegic. She took her arms and her legs away from her so she wouldn't be able to leave her, because Tiffany Valentine is actually nuts, okay? There is this dream sequence in the third episode that I thought was real at first, where Chucky kills Andy. And if we don't remember who Andy is because you're not following along, Child's Play, the first movie that came out in the 80s, a long time ago, with that infamous scene of the babysitter getting pushed out the window. Hilarious. By the way, this reaction is on my Patreon. And yes, I was losing my shit this episode. All the episodes are on my Patreon right now. He is stabbing Andy as he has him tied up in the bed. Caroline's watching, and he's getting him in the face. Yo, the graphics, okay, it reminded me of Evil Dead. You know what I mean? In the thing, as far as like those practical effects with like not CGI cuts, not the, okay, we totally know that's computer work here. I love the practical effects on the show, and the puppetry is brilliant. I promise you, if you're not into scary stuff, I still would recommend Chucky the series. It is more campy than scary, if anything. You may get a spook and a boo every now and then or whatever, but it's really about the lore of Child's Play, what Don Mancini created with the character of Charles Lee Ray and of Tiffany Valentine and of Glenda Gigi, for the girls that know. Yes, I will praise this because he is my favorite horror movie icon. He's my favorite. I used to be so terrified of Chucky as a kid. And as an adult, I fell in love with the series, especially finding out more information behind like who the creator is and this, that, and the other, right? Felicia, I'm with you on this one. The kills this series, this particular season, have been nuts. Like this episode alone, I was like, this is a lot. There was not really anything crazy that happened after this moment in episode 3, to be honest with you. But this was enough to like leave you scarred a little bit. So he kills Andy in his dreams. But he realizes and wakes up. And of course, like I talked about, found out he was aging because he was cursed via, more so blessed via an exorcism. So Chucky now got into the White House, everybody. Okay. Because he finds out from Dumbledore, who he's worshiping, that he has to make sacrifices in order to get back in their good graces, because once he was almost exorcised, that blessing left him in bad faith with the demonic entity, that god he's worshiping. Okay, so that's how he's in the White House. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, that's interesting. That I can ride with. I can ride with that. Jake is swole. This is kind of, I said, you listen, I'm not in these babies' business like that because this is that kind of show. But every time I have watched these episodes and I notice that they keep putting Jake in tank tops and Devin is still giving us twink tees, I said, girl, what in the dom, what is happening in this power top sub bottom couple? They even exuded through the relationship. I'm like, y'all are writing this melodrama shit out. It's cute though. And Lexi's in her own world right now, giving what needs to be giving. So I don't know. I do love that we're getting this kind of representation on television. Back to my point being here. Chucky's in the White House. We know now because he's trying to, that's where he's killing all these things. He's trying to get back in the good graces of Dumbledore. But he finds out that all these kills aren't really doing anything. He's still aging. So he's like, I have to figure this out. And apparently he finds out it's like a number specifically he has to do. So he figures, let's get these kids to the Halloween party. I'm going to get them here or at least do something. And I can make my mark. I can make my number. I can get my power back and I can be good to go. So that's where we are for episode 4. That's where we're at right now. Like I said, Jennifer Tiffany Valentine was arrested. She's in jail now. Prison, excuse me, but in Texas because of an old murder that she did a long time ago that caught up with her. This is not in order. Oh, while Chucky's new friend to the end has a babysitter of the Mary Poppins proportion, it felt like I was watching like guest stars of people who I've seen in other shows or movies like pop up to just get murdered in this like episode. While Lexi, Jake, and Devin are trying to get further into the White House. Lexi, of course, is using the president's son, getting to know him, but more so using him. So she's gonna get close to Chucky, prove that he's alive, and they can finally not look crazy as well as get rid of him. But he likes her. He's just a ginormous douche and he's very uninteresting and I totally hate his character. He is cringe of all cringes. He is super of cringe. That kind of cringe. Cringe de la cringe. I really hate his character. He's so woe is me and I just cannot get into him. I don't feel sorry for him. You're in the White House. All was taken from you. Ooh, like, I'm sorry. I can't rock into that. I can't rock into that. Like, bitch, I would be hyped. Do you hear me? Like, bitch, for the rest of my life, like, come on now. So, anywho, Lexi, Devin, Jake, they're going through the White House. This was the most unbelievable scene, in my opinion. There's a whole Halloween party going on right now, and you're telling me that y'all have made it through this and nobody has clocked in and noticed that you were gone with all the security. That was the most unbelievable part of this episode for me. And there's a lot of unbelievable shit that happened. Marley, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like I didn't. All right, hands up. I feel like I didn't highlight this, baby. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the super sticker. Love you down. Appreciate you, Marley. And thank y'all for tuning in. We're talking about Chucky. We have so much on the menu. We're about to get to Britney Spears in just a second, as well as get into this Dragula trailer and talk about more hot topics. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button if you will. Drop a tip in my jar if you feel like it. And I appreciate you so much for tuning in today and supporting your boy, Thou. For those of you who are coming in late, what I said at the beginning of the video is I sort of like had such a rough week because I kind of was blocking out my mom's death day anniversary, her passing, and that kind of like rocked me a little bit. And so I kind of had that moment yesterday where I was like, oh, I realized because it was her anniversary. I was just like, oh my God. And did a lot of things that I normally would do, and I felt a lot better this morning, but I also know that I had a lot going on in my life right now, and I'm just here to give you nothing but excellent content, to not always bring my business up into this piece like that, because I know that's not always fun, but to recognize that, hey, we're having some tough times with views, but we can really keep this going and keep pushing and just not give up, because that's what we're not going to do. And your support genuinely does help. Kind words, tips, subscribe to the Patreons, cameos, all of the above. So I appreciate all so much. Super stickers, like super chats, all of it. Thank you. All right, back to this episode. So again, these kids are unbelievably in the White House. Remember that nosy reporter that we talked about who was totally in the business of everybody and trying to basically like take down the president because, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And here comes this, idiot. I was like, wow, I didn't think she was going to get killed like that. Chucky dropped an entire chandelier on these people. And it was like a lot of people. Like, I was like, oh my God. This scene was insane. I mean, not this scene. This scene is see you next Tuesday. But this scene was insane because like all the dead bodies, and then like she gets up from the chandelier, like, like what's going on? And her face just peels off. Madness. We're going to get back to Chucky in just a second because I'm going to show you the ultimate gag. But to Tiffany Valentine, this was the best part of this finale, or mid-season finale, I should say. For those of you who remember Bride of Chucky, it is one of my favorite movies ever, by the way. There is a scene where she is then turned into Tiffany the doll via the Belle doll that she bought to be with Chucky after, he did all that nonsense with her after she resurrected him. So she's in the bathtub and she's watching The Bride of Frankenstein. And this is when Chucky makes his move, pushes the TV into the bathtub, electrocutes Tiffany, Ade Due Dimbala, puts her soul into the doll, and thus becomes Tiffany Valentine and Chucky for Bride of Chucky, right? Just context here for this scene because you need to know why I was so hyped. I was hyped. She's in prison now in Texas. She's already being told you won't get any special privileges or whatever, but she can still wear her high heels and do what she low-key wants to do. And she's wearing her red. So again, unbelievable, but she's a celebrity. They still think she's Jennifer Tilly, but she's telling everybody, no, I'm Tiffany Valentine. I'm Tiffany Valentine. They think she's like trying to play crazy, but she's like, no, I'm actually Tiffany Valentine in Jennifer Tilly's body. But y'all don't believe me. So it's whatever. She meets her idol, played by a familiar actress. I can't remember her name, but I'm like, wait, wasn't she on My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Or is that someone else I'm thinking of? I'm like, I know who this actress is, but I couldn't get her name down. And if you notice in the background, Bride of Frankenstein is playing. I said, Dawn, God bless you. Are you serious? I had such a moment with this because I was like, oh, he's paying homage to Bride of Chucky. And it's interesting because she's meeting like serial killer to serial killer, right? And she's like totally admiring her work and being like, oh, I learned this about organization skills. My mother always said, if you don't have this right, you'll never get this. Very Jennifer Tilly, right? So that's her from Big Fat Greek Wedding. I knew it. I was like, what is she doing in this? And I love they're getting all these guest stars that I would never imagine would be shows like this. It's like, what are you doing here? But okay, work. She ends up not liking Jennifer Tilly, because she said that she like killed her sister. She's like, no, it's not. I'm not really Jennifer. I'm Tiffany. And she's like, if that happened, I would never do this. And she puts out her cigarette. Tiffany's like, I'm going to take this. And I knew then and there, oh, Tiffany's not going to be in jail because, reminder, she got the death sentence when she was in court, and they're going to basically execute her in a month. So she has like 3 weeks and some change now to get out of this. And she's like, where are my religious items? I need my religious items. I have that right. True. So she gets her Voodoo's for Dummies book, once again an homage to Bride of Chucky, because that's, again, how they were trying to get the heart of Dimbala from Charles Lee Ray's corpse in that movie on that road trip adventure they took with Katherine Heigl's Attitude. Ooh, but listen, she gets her book. She gets a couple of makeshift dolls that she already has ready to go. And she's like, game on, bitches. So to get back her idol, the serial killer that she was, so obsessed over, who totally said she hated her, and that made Tiffany feel vulnerable. Because you reminder, Tiffany does not like to be humiliated or made to feel bad. That's when she's mostly like aggressive when it comes to like taking out people. I've noticed that with her character. She really is a sweetheart, but if you make her feel like shit, she'll get you. And that's what she did. This scene was madness. This is the most I will show you. I ran out on this scene. This was Evil Dead level of nonsense. I couldn't believe what I had to watch. And then this was our girl from My Big Fat Greek Wedding going out this way. Okay, let's go over it. Sliced her wrist, did all that. And it was like, ow, but she can't stop because it's the voodoo doll, right? Oh my God. She tries to start stabbing herself. Doesn't really work out there, okay? slices herself a couple of times, slices her face, does all of this, like slice. She kept slicing herself. A couple of sad moments. She can't stop. The voodoo doll is making her do this, okay? It gets to a point where she finds a grater, like for a potato or a carrot, like one of those single graters. You know, get your carrots out, do all that kind of, get your shavings. She starts slicing her fingertips. I was too through. Like, after doing that, goes to the oven, puts their hand on like the oh, it was too much. Jennifer made her feel it. Amanda, yes, that. And they showed it, Crash. God, you have to go watch if you're into like that kind of horror stuff. Like this was insane. She wraps it up with putting her face in a giant pot of boiling water and makes her sit in it for way longer than it needs to be. And when she pulls it out, her whole face gone and completely swollen from the heat in the water. Baby, it was a wrap from there. And Tiffany said, and I'm back. And so Tiffany knew, now that I know that Dumbala still holds me, because mind you, Dumbala has given up on Chucky, and that's why he's aging, right? Hasn't given up on Tiffany. She's still a part of that, the connection with that voodoo spirit and that spirituality. So it's like, okay, she's good to go. Imagine being someone watching this happen in these, like, I wouldn't have been, they were all way too calm for me. So the police officer, or the prison guard, who has been basically rubbing in the execution of Jennifer Tilly in her face, Officer Dorset, gives Tiffany her food, and she's all like really hyped, like, oh, what happened to that lady who, we were all excited about, hope she's okay. She's going over the food and stuff like that, and she's like, is there dessert? And she spits her gum into Tiffany's baked beans, thinking she's slick. Like, shut up, I'm, you're trash, you're going to be, put to death, all that kind of mess, like, whatever, I'm gonna treat you right. Baby, that was the worst decision she made. She should have never done that. And that, I think Tiffany was talking to her more and more and more and trying to keep her there and piss her off on purpose so she could get her to do something, and something could be like, I thought that was smart. I said, she plotted this. This wasn't coincidental. I said, this felt like a plot. It especially because when you first meet this officer, who honestly, the actress playing it, no shade, baby, you were horrible. You annoyed me this whole episode. Her whole thing was the gum bet. The whole, you mean, why do sugar and spice sound like Jennifer Tilly? Crash. One came before the other, darling. Let's give our dues now, Crash. You mean, why do sugar and spice sound like Jennifer Tilly? And they really don't, because Jennifer has a much more different tone. Jennifer Tilly has more of a Jennifer Coolidge tone in a much higher register of almost a whisper. So I think more of Jennifer Coolidge and Jennifer Tilly being very close to the same person, but not on two different levels of I love them so much. You know what I mean? So I think that's who I normally hear in like a more crisper tone, where, maybe she's on helium, where Jennifer Coolidge is on Ambien. That kind of it. So again, the officer with the chewing gum, it was like, I clocked your teeth. She's always chewing and being rude like that. Yeah, like a Jinx Monsoon. I think that Jinx Monsoon could do a very good Jennifer Tilly impersonation if she did it for Snatch Game. I might want to do Jennifer Tilly because I love her so much. But it was this face that Jennifer made too, right here, when she's like, oh, she left her gum. Like, I just, baby, she got to work. She said, put that gum in that mouth, had her walk right over there. Jennifer, what can I do for you? She said, okay, here's what we're about to do. I need you to go and get something that belongs to all of the guards that are working this block, including the sniper. You must give me some personal belongings to them, hair, something, this, that, and the other, and bring it to me. Oh, it's going to take me a while, Jennifer, to do that. Well, you better hurry because I only have 3.5 weeks until I go bye-bye. And you don't want to see me go bye-bye, right? She said, okay, bye-bye now. I said, oh, shit. I am excited to see this prison break scene. This is going to be amazing. I said this was the best part of the episode, y'all. I loved, lived, and breathed for this. It was great, 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 great. But getting back to Chucky, as he's in the White House still, he basically sacrificed all those people for Dimbala, and he asked for him to come back to him. Now, the first time he did this in the previous episode, when he found out that he was blessed, there were no clouds. There was no lightning and thunder. He would say the Ade, Due, Dimbala, give me the power, I beg of you, that whole bit. Nothing happened. Boom. He did all of that, the lightning, the thunder, and all that happened, and Chucky takes off his mask. I am gagged. I have seen buff Chucky. I have seen bald Chucky. I have seen regular face Chucky. I have seen the original Chucky. I have seen Mark Hamill's version of, well, not his version, but that horrible remake versions of Chucky. I have seen a lot. This actually spooked me because there was fear that they put in this doll's face. He looked like the Crypt Keeper, but there was fear, and I was like, I have never seen them pull that with Chucky before. It was a gag because the boy saw, he was like, Joseph, what's wrong with your face? He's like, I'm dying. Oh, what a way to end the episode, y'all. But they give us a mid-season trailer, or I guess what's happening for the rest of the season coming in 2024 is what they say, right? Depending on what's going on with the strike. He gets to this level. I said, are they paying homage to Lord of the Rings? Like, is this supposed to be, precious is he? Right, David. I said, are they going like a Lord of the Rings route with this? He calls Tiffany. It is very clear that Tiffany got out of prison. I looked at the back. I was like, no, those windows are too big. It's giving too glam. I said, Tiffany's out. Tiffany got out. I can't wait to see that break. But she tells Charles Lee Ray, Chucky, like, you're going to have to, listen, if you're dying, you got to go out with a bang. Because, like, why are you just going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm dying? I'm like, she's like, remind yourself who you are. And it proves that Chucky always loved Tiffany. He, regardless of that toxic relationship, Chucky loved Tiffany. And Tiffany's an idiot to stay with him. Can we please get into this crown? Please get into the crown. Who else clocked this? The instigator of chaos. What? I need this for a costume later. This is perfect. I said, oh my God, that crown that's perfection. That's perfection. But apparently a lot's going to go down in the episode. Even the president is going to get attacked by Chucky. Looking at this, oof, just looks insane. I feel like the remainder of the season's going to go into like a complete like spiral of what the fuck is going on. And then either Chucky dies and then we wrap the show up and then we're not going for season 4 and he wanted to end it this way, or we go into another season possibly. I really hope they keep the show going. And yeah, that's just where I'm at with that. So that is my current wrap-up review of Chucky in terms of season 3 so far. There's 4 episodes out right now. Like I said before, the episodes are streaming on Peacock. If you have USA or Sci-Fi Network, that's also on there. So check it out. I highly recommend it, especially for the Halloween season. And yeah, let's move on to Britney Spears. Listen. Oh, how I don't like relishing in bad things that happen to people, or just desserts, karma, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I do, if they really deserved it. Not petty stuff, you know what I mean? But like, when I tell you, once They were dropping that tea. I already was gonna get the book, but I was really trying to go to a bookstore and buy it because I like to do it like that. No, I had to put that Amazon order in today. I put that Amazon order in today. When I tell you, hold on, we're gonna talk about Stewie Griffin in just a big head second. When I tell you, she is dropping tea, and we asked for this. I begged of her to do this, and I'm so happy she didn't do this in an interview. I'm happy it's a book. This has more value to her. They said within the first day, it was like, what, 400,000 copies out the door? I was like, ooh. It is, I heard it's a journey. Listen, to hear Michelle Williams of Dawson's Creek say genuine, the way she did, I'll never let it go. And it also confirmed many things for me, and I'm glad Britney Spears finally said it. But a lot of people still celebrate that shit because culture vultures out there and all that kind of shit. I am very happy she clocked that man's tea, and he's been deserved it. I almost felt like she got the lick back for Janet Jackson's titty being exposed. But it's even more than that. Yeah, Britney Spears released her memoir with The Woman in Me, and talks a lot about the last 25 years that have happened. A lot over things that we didn't know were going on during her conservatorship, and a lot of stuff that we had no information to. Okay, she dragged everybody in this book that did her dirty, and I say rightfully so. She's already made $12.5 million and deserves it. Yeah, come on, Japan. Faux shiz. Do not forget the early 2000s was the extreme culture vulture time frame. Let me tell you something. If the Kardashians were really trying to be in that bag, they should have did it back then. Because the early 2000s, my God, woo, the amount of bullshit you would have got away with. I'm telling you. I'm going to talk about a couple of points today because I was more than impressed. But I got to talk about a couple of points today. So much from this book, baby. Britney Spears reveals she was forced to take lithium under her conservatorship. Quote, "It makes you extremely slow and lethargic. I grew disoriented. On lithium, I didn't know where I was or even in who I was sometimes. My brain wasn't working the way it used to. Didn't we say that? Didn't we have this? Didn't we? We said that girl was lit. And these people are like, oh no, she needs it for her own stuff. Oh no. They were forcing drugs into her, like we all knew was happening, to keep her sedated so they could just do things around her. And even if at any moment she's complaining or wants to outrage or do anything, there's no strength in her body to do so. Clock in, Britney. Thank you. We'll let's keep on talking. Britney Spears reveals her former conservator Andrew Wallet, so funny that's his last name, was paid $426,000 a year to keep her from using her own money. Your father, hired this man and paid him $426,000 a year just so she couldn't use her own money. Oh, I know, Liam. I'm about to get my wisdom teeth removed out soon, so I'm really not happy. Britney Spears explains the lack of energy and passion during her Piece of Me show. In the most demoralizing moments of my Las Vegas residency, I wore tight wigs and I danced in a way where I wouldn't move a hair on my head. Everyone who was making money off of me wanted me to see Like everything that was coming out in the book felt like validation as me as somebody who was like, I don't know what's going on over there, but this ain't right. And something doesn't make any sense. Also, Britney confirming that Blackout is her favorite album, her best album. So, okay, story time. When I first wanted to do drag many, many years ago, when I had a completely different name and all of that for drag, and I was like in a house and all this, like a ballroom house and all that kind of shit. My first song, my first song, and mind you, I was a Beyonce fan, but like I've always been that Britney stan. I've always been there for my Brit. Okay, I bought her first album. I had the pink one with the blue flower in the middle. My loneliness. Oh, I can't. Please, please. I've been there, done that. Hold on. Been there, done that. Wrote the book on it. Okay. Madison B. Graham, for the girls that know. That's for the other chats. Okay. That. You want to talk about the Grand Dame, Karen? I was there. Because I was a bougie bitch back then. But give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me. That was going to be my first song ever. And I was going to hyper mix it into SOS, please. Someone help me. It's not healthy to make me feel this. Like, yeah, I was going to do Rihanna. Oh, yeah, I had a whole plan. And then the second song was going to be Crazy in Love. And then one thing. And then that guy made that mix recently. I was like, what is happening? My old drag shit is coming out. Sorry for this moment, but yes, it was going to be my like beginning song, and all my friends were like hyping me up for it. I never did it, so there is going to be a moment. There is going to be a moment in this piece of cake career. I will be doing a Give Me More routine, and it's going to be what I feel the Give Me More routine could have been. I know she didn't want to do that performance, so no, I'm going to give you what in the spirit of Britney. I'm going to come out and fuck it up. So I promise that. Because, bitch, when I tell you, I know that song front to back, forth, the little nuances, all of that. Ooh, it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite. Give me. Yes, so many. Oh, I love Britney. Sorry. Keep going. My father presented the conservatorship as a great stepping stone on the road to my comeback. Just months earlier, I released the best album of my career, but fine. Mm-hmm. There's so much in this book. I can't wait to get it. I almost feel like I have to do like an actual review of the book, but not even to say like, oh, I'm reviewing her. I myself want to get into not just these hot takes that people are posting about it, but like to really read what's going on here. Because baby, oh, Britney, like everything about just every feeling I had came. I was like, wow, I was right in a lot of my thoughts. This is insane. Britney Spears says she stopped believing in God for a period of time under her conservatorship. Of all the things they did, the worst was to make me question my faith. I never had strict ideas of religion. I just knew there was something bigger than me. When it came to the time to the end, yeah, like I can only imagine. Her father, Jamie, paid himself over $6 million after the blackout era. More money than she made herself. So right before she puts out what is considered to be, for her, going to be the best album of her career, your father steps in, throws in a conservatorship on you, and then makes the money off of you. Woo, bitch. I'm sorry. I would never speak to this man a day in my life ever. I would not have nothing to do with him. I'd stay as far away from the family as possible, which she says that she is right now too. So Justin Timberlake, oh baby, it's not looking good for you, sister. It's really not looking good for you, sister. Justin Timberlake. Justin Cultural Vulture was in the black community trying to get all of that. Never mind, let me stop, because the girls were actually praising him, because y'all were over here like, well, he's like Michael Jackson. Yes, I remember the days. I remember the days when everybody was holding that man to the highest of pedestals, and he was dragging Britney subliminally in through a whole lot of stuff. Oh yes, let's get into that. Justin Timberlake. Mm-hmm. Ben Then not liked him. I used to like some of his music. I want to rock your body. Favorite song from him, right? Dance with me, sexy baby, be so. Natasha Brown. Random fact, he does not wash his hands after he uses the bathroom. Don't ask me how I know. Natasha, are you like me when you notice certain celebrities around and you may happen to be in the same space as them and they forget to do things or they don't do things? And you're like, oh, that happened. It's gross. I hope this book brings her back financially successful because it is the highest selling celebrity memoir, and it should be because we've been wanting to hear her story for quite some time. Everybody was asking for it. So apparently, Justin Timberlake asked Britney Spears to have, okay, let's call it, Britney Spears was pregnant with Justin Timberlake's baby, and he made her get rid of it. And made her not go to a clinic to get rid of it. Oh, no, 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 no. Had it in the house so that the paparazzi wouldn't know about it. And they wouldn't find it out in the next story. Like, do you hear me? I'm going to read from the book. Because I'm happy people have posted. I was like, thank you. From The Woman in Me. My knees holding the toilet. For a long time, I couldn't move. To this day, it's one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life. Still, they didn't take me to the hospital. Justin came into the bathroom and lay on the floor with me. At some point, he thought maybe music would help. So he got his guitar and he lay there with me strumming it. I kept crying and sobbing until it was all over. It took hours, and I don't remember how it ended, but I do 20 years later remember the pain of it and the fear. I need y'all to remind yourselves this was like the early 2000s, so it's not like there was no access to a doctor to get this done. But because you didn't want your career to be ruined by Britney and you getting pregnant and you didn't want to have that baby, you made her. Cry Me a River. Oh my God. Oh! Oh my God. I can never think of that song the same ever again. I can never. I I have to tweet that. I have to tweet that. I can never listen to "Cry Me a River" ever again. Like, 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 uh. uh. It's all starting to make pieces now. Now it's really like, ooh, wee, ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. I guess I don't need you. Ooh. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. She talked about, of course, what she's been doing recently, which a lot of people have had criticisms over. But she says freedom means being goofy, being fun on social media. Freedom means taking a break from Instagram without people calling 911. Freedom means the ability to be beautifully imperfect. It means the ability to search for joy on my own terms. So now that we've all read most people have read the book. I'm mine's in the mail. It's coming Saturday. Justin's been having a little bit of a tough time, you guys. A really tough time. Super tough time. Justin Timberlake was reportedly planning a big comeback, which is now, quote, ruined after being exposed by Britney Spears in her memoir. NSYNC comes to Justin Timberlake's aid and defense in this time. Oh, really? Okay. Justin Timberlake turns off his Instagram comments. You know, I wish people had been this way when it came to the Janet situation versus attacking that black woman who was revered for her career. Everybody loved her. I'm not going to say revered, excuse me, but everybody loved Janet. Janet is a pop icon. And I remember how everyone took his side in that situation, and almost as if he was like embarrassed of what she did. And I know they've talked about this and they've apologized. All that's happened and good stuff like that. But her career never came back after that, Justin. It never was the same. Ever. After that. Ever. 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 After that, Justin. Never the same. And it never should have gotten to where it was. Oh, bitch. The life that Janet could have had. And yes, I put you in that driver's seat because she explained how that was not what y'all rehearsed. And you did that. And you walked away from that. Had a whole movie career. Had your pale babies. You did all of that. But she was banned from CBS for a little bit. I think she still is. I don't know if they lifted that already. Blackballed in so many different communities. The girls were making her out to be, they were shaming her, slut shaming her, like you say, Natasha. And instead of us celebrating her sexuality, it was used against her. Never the same after that. So no. And yes, she was also on, it wasn't even a comeback. It was more so like a resurgence in her career at that time with the album release. And then she got the Super Bowl. Mind you, her brother had been performing at the Super Bowl. So it's a thing. I will never forgive him for that. And so when she dropped all this, I said, ooh, and let it rise and let it burn. Let it rise and let it burn. I want to watch the whole house burn down. Like, that's where I'm at with this. I'm Left Eye, baby. I'm sitting right there watching it. I'm Angela Bassett in the motherfucking Waiting to Exhale. The clothes are on top of the car. I have walked away with my cigarette. That Lexus is on fire. Because let's be very clear. Discipline would have done a lot better had this other... See, Matthew? Oh, that album was also ahead of its time. I think I'm a hater of Janet Jackson because I went to that one thing with Alex back in New York City. Shout out to Alexander Rogers. We had a great conversation this week. He picked my ass back up for real. That's my brother. But I went to that little show in Harlem, Made for Now, when that song came out and she didn't perform. And we were like, girl, it started raining and everybody was going in. This is the only experience I've had that was negative. Everything else about Jen is amazing. That was not a good experience. And I would blame the people who were promoting the event saying she was going to perform. Had them kids, thanks everybody for coming. Harlem, it's like another home for me. I feel so comfortable here. And I'm releasing my new album, but I put a lot of love into it. And the song's called Made for Now because it's really about us. It's about you. And my love letter to you as my fans. I appreciate you. So what we're going to do is these kids up here, look at how beautiful they are. Aren't they beautiful? They're going to, dance for you to my song. And I have to go. And I love y'all so much. Bye. I saw that top knot leave. I saw that little top knot bun walk out. And I said, girl. And it started to rain. Made for Now. Starts playing. Made for Now. I said, what is that? I will be in Alex where bitch. Because mind you, me and Alex were like, and we talked about that Felicia the other day. He was like, Matty. He was like, bitch, I was trying to get you to see the city. We could have just traveled around. You could have really enjoyed stuff and found I said, oh, well, Janet Jackson's here. Matt's here. It just so happens to be coincidental. Let's make this work. And then we get that. Oh, yeah, we were over it. I was over it. I was so over it. I remember I had to go to H&M to buy a new shirt, y'all, because I was literally soaked in rainwater. and had to walk into a department store where the H&M was and buy a brand new shirt because that is how rained down we were. It made me so angry. I was hot. Mississippi mud hot. I was hot. I think I caught a cold after that too, bitch. I was angry. Shit. New York is another place now. That was new for me. That was like my first time experiencing like walking through like Harlem and like taking the train and doing all that. That was very stressful for me. And I always thought I would like New York, which I actually do like New York. I live and breathe for it, especially the people with the accent. Oh God. I love how everybody talks out there. It's everything. However, I'd have to be rich to live there because ain't no way. That subway, the worst smell. I have never seen rats so, have their own like line of movement and communication. It really blew me away. Like I'm walking, okay? I remember I was walking somewhere and this rat that was the size of a raccoon rolled up by me and Alex like, hey, what's up? Grabbed some food off the street and then scurried across the street, baby. I saw my life flash before my eyes that day. Oh, and we have an animal out here in Houston. I can't think of the name of it. It looks just like a capybara and a rat mixed together. And it's actually, they are out here in the city. If you go to Herman Park, you'll see them in that little lake that's out there, sometimes swimming back and forth to the island. You're like, what the fuck is that? I forget the name of those animals, but they look just like what I'm talking about. But yeah, the rats out there, grown ass men and women. What's up? How's it going? My name's Marie. How you doing? Like, what? Bitch. Mm-mm. Also, I will say downtown LA is the same. If you really want to talk about it, downtown LA is very much the same, especially on certain corners in certain places. Be very careful if you have open-toed shoes. As a matter of fact, here's my advice for living in downtown LA. As someone who did live in downtown LA, don't wear open-toed shoes. Ever. If you need to, that's fine. How about you wear closed-toe shoes until you get on either the train that's going to take you to North Hollywood or over to Koreatown, and then put your open toes on. But downtown, oh no God. God bless you if you walk into a forbidden puddle of what the fuck is that? And that happened to me minty of times to where I would have to then clean the shoes before I'd walk into the apartment. Like, oh no, we can't even go in the apartment with this. No, where is a hose? I don't even know what that was. More than likely piss. Thank you, nutrient. Thank you, Stephanie. That's what's out here in Houston. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. You know I am that girl. You am that girl. Yep. Yeah, these are all out in Houston. Look like big ass beavers with these big old tails. They're not beavers though. Not at all. Those are out here in Houston. And like the swamp areas and like the like where water is and stuff like that, and lakes and shit, you may end up seeing them. They don't fuck with you though. I will say that they are not some aggressive ass animals. Those are ones that'll be like, bitch, what you doing over here? Let me go over in my little corner. The world is an amazing place. But listen, this book is a bestseller right now. I have my copy on the way. I suggest you get it too. A lot of people had questions, about Britney, and some people don't want to hear this too because they're very much like, well, fuck her. She's a woman. Team Justin. We love men. We hate women kind of shit. And also, fuck her because she's Britney and maybe jealous of her. I'm just going to be real and say that. I don't see a reason to really hate this girl. I know I'm a fan, but I don't get it. Like I would be on set, like, I don't get it. So by the woman in me. I love you, Britney, and continue living your free life. And I hope you find success in this and fuck your haters and the people that try to destroy you and take things from you and ruin you. Can you imagine if like we lost her, like say if she like passed under the conservatorship and was never able to tell her story and her father or her family released some bullshit? Like please really hear us loudly on that. If something bad happened during that time frame, we wouldn't get this truth. We wouldn't get it. We'd have a whole nother story. That is something we really should be talking about. Like, if she hadn't been freed, we wouldn't. We'd be having a different conversation under a different narrative, under a completely different narrative. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, a lot of trauma happened to Nikki, but give her time. I think that's what we need to do. Another 5, maybe a decade from now, she wants to come out here and do what she want to do. Right, Christopher? And that's it. Again, it's like we would never have gotten that story. That family would have made it seem like, oh, well, da 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 da. It's like, no. I just know that she said she does not interested in doing this and she wants to live her life and be free again. And to me, I think she deserves it. Especially, imagine having to go on tour and go on concert, and it's not because you want to. Like they're forcing you to do things, sing songs you didn't even want to write, do all this kind of mess. Like, and your family's all involved in it, and they're complicit in all this bullshit happening here. Fuck Jamie Lynn. Rotted ass Fabio face bitch. Can't stand her. Excuse me. Ooh. Unimportant. Let's just move on. Oh, wide face, big headed ass, this old thing. Stewie Griffin in full life form, Jaden Alexis, has signed with Columbia Records via Blueface, who, if y'all don't know who this wretched thing is, she is in a relationship with walking syphilis Blueface. Excuse me, I am joking. She's in a relationship with him. She was also the one who, when Krishan got with Blueface, they ended up, I guess she was mad and bitter about that whole situation. And then, Blueface then got back with her to get back at Krishan. And so now he's trying to up her career game. And apparently some very popular TikTok song that is not good at all. It's not good at all. Got her this deal with Columbia. So she's about to get her rap game on. Seriously this time. And is engaged to Blueface, which he's throwing all of this in Krishan's face, who he literally just had a baby with. Yeah, they're engaged now. It's a lot. This, I think, will be the most I ever talk about her, unless she ends up on Baddies. So, yeah. Like a whole botch BBL trying to read people. It's insane. And like after that, also with how everything else is going, it doesn't look like it's gonna get any better. I would stay away from needles and knives. I would. Oh, he's beefing with his. It's a mess, Salome. Like it's embarrassing to see. I would never disrespect my mother this way. I would never. I don't know their relationship like that, even though we've seen it on TV and it's really toxic. But like, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Like he's calling her like all these really fucked up names, and she's exposing him and doing all this extra stuff, and it's really sad to see. But they're making money off of this because a lot of people who are fans of this kind of like drama like feed into that. So it's not my cup of tea. Like I'm talking about it now, but like in reality, I feel bad for them. I'm like, ooh, this is embarrassing. Y'all go sit down somewhere, please. Let's try this again. Like y'all, you can be talented and not a mess. Baby, the way Remy popped out with greater value papoose, girl, don't get me started. I said, so you cheated on that man, that fine ass man who had your back when you were in prison? What? Hold on, before I get to Dragula. Yeah. I am gagged by that baked by buddy. I couldn't believe this, and I thought to myself, Rimma, reminiscence. What? Why? Uh, 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 uh. Oh, goodness. I can't, and I won't, and I will not. He held her down. I don't know. Remy be doing some things I just can't really rock with it. I can't really do it. Anywho, we got through some hot topics here. We talked about the challenge. We talked about Chucky. We talked about Britney Spears' new memoir that's out, giving some hot takes that people are reading from the book. The book just came out recently. Get your copy. I'm getting mine in the mail. Let's get on to Dragula in this trailer. So, I didn't want to consume this too much and be like shot by shot by shot by shot because I want some surprises here. I wanted to be entertained this season. I caught a couple of things that I just want to see, right? For one, it feels like the value in the production is upped. And we noticed that from Resurrection, but it's really giving that kind of tease here. And I'm really excited to get to that today. There also seems to be drama that's going to happen. I said, oh, who got the Barbie upset? I said, Giselle Rose. I said, Miss Royale, hold on. Who you getting into? It seemed there were going to be a couple of people going in. I didn't see a lot of Blackberry either. And as a Houstonian, that pissed me off. It made me nervous. I'm like, what's my sister's placement? What's going on? It was running like a couple of clips. JK had a lot of energy and a lot of time. I forget our British baby's name. They're apparently going to be getting into it with everybody. I said, oh, they're going to be fighting this season. These wigs are every motherfucking thing. They are everything. They are that and then some. They are life. They are present. We live. Anaphylactic? Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you, Big My Buddy. These wigs are God given. Actually, this is nothing to do with God. This is quite the opposite. It's very hell on earth. Wow. I'm ready for the same silhouettes in different blacks, reds, and whites with these two. I'm ready for wigs to be high and the nails to be on. I am very excited for this season. Can you believe we are around the corner? Looking at my calendar. My calendar. Where is my calendar? Give me my calendar. We got Tuesday. Tuesday, it's going up on a Tuesday, and then the following day on that Wednesday, on that Wednesday, me and Dooley are going to be talking about it with our evening nightly shows. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Whew. Oh, they do a double premiere or an out. I want a double premiere. I kind of like the double premiere. I feel a little spoiled in those moments because like it gets all of the beginnings out the way, and then if it already set up like so much for the next episode, it's like the anxiety is killing me, and I must watch. Like for example, I'm really excited for this Goosebump series episode coming up because once they finish this last one with them introducing Slappy, I'm like, oh my god, where are they going with this series? Seems very interesting. Ooh, American Horror Stories came out on Hulu this week too. So I got to watch that as well. The stories have been pretty good. First season I was like, Second season, yes. This season now I'm like, okay, let's give it a go and see what it's giving. It's like 4 shows, four episodes in the anthology series. I'm interested. I am interested. So yeah. We got a lot to look forward to. Chucky will be back after this year, back in 2024. The challenge just started, so get ready for a lot of drama and a lot of challenge and a lot of manipulation and backstabbing to take place. We also have the Boulay Brothers Dragula starting on the 31st. Don't forget, I'm going to be doing Housewife live episodes. I'm waiting until Potomac starts because I'm going to do Beverly Hills, Potomac, and Miami all in one live stream where I'm just like going over the episodes and like bringing y'all into the conversation when it comes to that. So that way it's like, let's just do a Bravo night. And that's what we're going to call it. Like a night at Bravo with Matty and just go over the show. Because I watch all of them and I'm like, I might as well be talking about this with you. I might as well. So yeah, we have a lot to look forward to. Lots with the Patreon too. Cameos, of course, all that stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy. I heard it was shit. I hate to be a downer here. I heard it was poop. I heard it was like a drama. I heard it was slow as hell. And was like, Matt, you're not gonna like it. The PG-13 rating, they fucked it up. It was not scary at all. I was like, really? They said, yeah, it was very few and far in between. You still going big, my buddy? I'm gonna wait for it to get on Peacock. Once it's on Peacock, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it on Peacock at home. I can't. Does Pizza have a dream horror look that she'd love to do? Oh, well, so my look, and it'd be kind of fucked up though. I'd be Tiffany Valentine giving birth to Gigi. Yeah, I do Bride of Chucky, but I wouldn't do Bride of Chucky like when she just got like dolled up and it's Barbie Eat Your Heart Out. No, baby. I would do Tiffany was in the oven and got burned almost to death, got out the oven and had to walk over by the graveyard, fight Chucky, get her ass beat, wake up only to have the baby come out. Oh yeah, it'd be fucked up. Like, and I'd do the whole performance too. I'd be carrying a shovel and everything. Oh yeah, and I'm sure someone will steal this idea, but like, like I'm sure someone's gonna steal this idea, but like, I have in my mind doing that look for a long time, and you know, why do I always fall for the bad guys? Or yeah, or was it the what was the code again? Why don't I always? Why can't I have the good guy? I forget what she says, but I wanted to just do that moment. I live so. Yeah, that's what my look would be. I'd live for that. That'd be cool. I don't have any Halloween costumes except I'll probably wear a wig for the panel on Sunday and just do a character the entire time, if anything, or at least at points in the show. But yeah. Okay, so Friday, great. So then at midnight I should be able to go there. Thank you, Jazzy Boo, for the info. JB, I'm going to the Boulay Halloween Ball on the 29th. Lucky. I live. I love this picture of Chris Rock that you have. It's fabulous. You a fan? Oh, okay. Go ahead, JB. One more joke. Candace Owens looks wonderful in this photo, and I think the frog hat is cute. What? I saw a trash panda and I had to speak. Ooh, we got House of Villains on Saturday too. Please tell me y'all are coming for the brunch time with that. I love House of Villains. I love that show. I want to talk about it often with you. Stop making me talk about it not as often with you. Why did I say it like that? It's a good show. We get to see if either Jax or Corinne was eliminated. So yeah. It's Chris Rock wearing a Candace Owens hat. That's right. She is a toad. I forgot. Because it's a lot of rivets coming out of that one. Mm-hmm. Eats her babies. All that shit. Tomorrow is Drag Race UK. You already know that's like an early afternoon tease because it's the evening time for those in the UK to watch it. But like afternoon early for us. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I did it. Oh my gosh. I said I wanted to cover all this within 90 minutes. I did it. We have a thing going here. We must not stop. Listen, thank you for the super chats today. Thank you for the tippy poos in my jar. If you want to throw me a little something my way, it's certainly appreciated with PayPal.me /rants. Cash App $MattyRants, Venmo Rants. I appreciate you for tuning in today. Hit the like button before you go. Get in the comment section afterwards. Shout out to Emroika in the chat. That's one of our moderators here. They're going to get those timestamps for you for those who want to get to the point. Shout out to the Playback crew. Shout out to those of you who made it to the end of this video. One last thing. How's anyone watching? I think that's what you meant to say. Has anyone watched Rick and Morty this season? I have. It's a little strange with the voice, and I'm trying to get used to it because the writing is fine, but something feels off, and I'm trying to get back in the groove because they still showed the older episodes, and I know the guy is a monster, right? But he was like a quarter but it was like, oh, he was accused of that, so it's like, they tried to do the right thing. Anywho, I don't know, something like certain nuances aren't hitting for me, and it's weird to watch. But I'm still okay with the show. I don't know. I like Rick and Morty, but I don't know. This new season is a little off for me. So I don't know. They might have just needed to end the show, but they had to wrap up that plot point. So, anywho, thanks for tuning in. Love y'all down. Appreciate the support. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a hug for me. And I will see you tomorrow for Drag Race UK. Bye. Listen.